Hello and welcome. This is Joe Valenti from BrokerBinder, and today's item is related to handling of email, specifically getting email that you send from BrokerBinder into the sent mail folder of your email program. I'm going to use Outlook as an example, but the same basic things would apply whether you're using Thunderbird or almost any other email client, including Gmail for that matter. So let's take a look at the basic idea of the problem. We've got a brand new client, number one. We haven't even decided if he's an approval on a purchase or what, so let's just do that for fun, and we'll save it. And so now we see that it's an approval on a purchase. And having saved it, we automatically lock it down. Let's unlock it and save it again. So great. And now we've got this approval of purchase underway. We don't know much about this client yet. We don't have enough for ratios. We don't have enough information. Really, we're just beginning the process. But we did hear that this client is, as I say, looking for an approval on a purchase. And based on that, and we happen to know that they're an employee, so based on that, we're going to send a set of documents that we've defined previously in a document set. Look for the video on that if you don't know. And in this case, we're going to ask him for these documents by that date, and boom, they're added. So now the next step is going to be to share this news, share this list of documents with our borrower so that they know what documents we're going to need. And to that end, we're going to click on this button for sending a request. Now note that at the moment, these documents are all red. Red means that there's something you need to do as a broker. In this case, it's that the client doesn't yet know, hasn't yet heard even once that they need to submit documents to you, or these documents. So you must, BrokerBinder is waiting on you to send a request for documents. So we're going to do that by email. It's going to go to that borrower's one email address. We can send it in English or in French, doesn't matter. And that list, when you send that email, if you've chosen the right template, it's going to include the complete list of documents just as it should. So, and we're going to scroll this down, and we can make anything, bold or colored any way that we like. So all that can be done. So that's just an email, off it goes. And now if you notice, there's a copy to self here. That's turned on by default. And it means that this email, long as it may be, is going to go out with a copy to yourself. That's great. And it's going to go to the borrower as well. Good. And that's gone. And now that the email has been sent, you'll notice that the status changes to yellow. It's now no longer on your to-do list. It's rather up to the client to get you the documents. So it's that status update has happened for you automatically. Now let's jump over to look at Outlook. And we're going to see as we come over here to do a send receive. Well, there it is. I did get a copy of the document. It sent it to me, the account holder, because I'm the broker, and you remember I sent a copy to myself. So here it is. However, it's in my inbox, and that's lovely, but I don't want it in my inbox. I want it to be in my outbox. I want this to go along with every other outbound email that I send, as though I had sent it myself right from within Outlook or whatever. In other words, what I want to do is take this email and move it to the sent mailbox. And now if I go to look at sent mail, I'll see this was a message that went to that client at this time, etc. And I know exactly what's all going on with it. So that's what I'd like to do, is to automate the process of moving that email into my sent folder to do it correctly. So it turns out, like so many things, it's easy when you know how, and this video is now going to attempt to show you how to use rules in Outlook to achieve that goal. In BrokerBinder, really nothing much to do here. You're going to continue to send requests or send invitations by email, and you'll continue to send copies to yourself. So really no difference there. What's going to be different is in your email client, you're going to program it with a rule to automatically recognize an outbound email from BrokerBinder and correctly go and file it in your sent mail. So let's now jump into BrokerBinder itself and imagine that, okay, we're knee-deep in a file for a client that we just looked at. In fact, we just sent them an email with a request for documents. That's great. Then the phone rings, and Linda Lalonde wants to get a quote from you, wants to work with you on a deal. Great. So on this occasion, you decide for whatever reason, maybe you don't have time, maybe she doesn't have time, instead of conducting an interview, you're going to send her an invitation by email, and you're going to choose the email option. You're going to send it to Linda Lalonde at brokerbinder.com, and let's give her a phone number. And Linda Lalonde, and you're going to choose a template. You could choose any template you like. I'm going to choose that one. I'm always going to choose the new form option. Very rarely would you choose short or long, and ask us if you are doubtful. Like anything else, we could highlight it, bold it, change the color, do whatever we want to do. It's just an email, so you can edit it any way you like. And when you're done, you'll go ahead and send the invitation, and you'll make sure that you leave this button checked. You could uncheck it, but we're going to leave it checked as it is automatically. And we're going to go ahead and send that invitation. Now, when we do that right now, that email will come into our inbox in here in just a second, but you'll see that it's not going to get automatically moved to our sent mail folder. It's going to come into email and just sort of sit there as you might expect. So there it is, and there's that message. Okay, so great. It's in the inbox. It didn't go to the sent mail. So what can we do to fix that? We're going to get to something called the rules, and you could do that a couple of different ways. You could right mouse click on any message and go to Rules, Manage Rules and Alerts. The alternative way is to go up to File and get to Manage Rules and Alerts a different way. Doesn't matter, same thing. You're going to get to this window, and we're going to create a new rule. For us, we're going to go ahead and click on this bottom one, Apply Rule on all messages that I receive. Okay, that's right. I'm receiving a message, and when I get that email, I want to automatically file it. So good. And now I'm going to look for a couple of conditions. So the first condition that I want to stipulate is that it came to my the account that I use with BrokerBinder. So in this case, it's going to be this one. Your Outlook client might have a number of different emails. I don't know, but it might. And so just to be clear, we're going to make sure that we're looking only at the email box that you actually use with BrokerBinder. So that's the reason we're specifying this first one. We checked it there, we clicked here, and specified the account that you're using. Cool. Next, we're going to mention that over here, your name is not in the to box. Now, if you think about this, the email went, in our case, to Linda Lalonde. It wasn't addressed to you. You're getting a copy of it, but it wasn't addressed to you. So to make sure that we're only catching emails that were addressed to somebody else, our clients, but sent to ourselves for reference sake, we're going to check that box as well, and that's it, where my name is not in the to box. And we're going to do a couple of other things here. We're going to go to the message header. We're going to click on that option. And here we're going to specify something that's going to say, and this is, you're going to have to just write this down, sendgrid.net. Now this happens to be the email service provider of sorts that BrokerBinder happens to use to send our outbound emails. And so if that reference appears in something called the header, the email header, then it's yet another proof that it came directly from BrokerBinder and it got copied to you, and it really belongs in your sent mailbox. So there you go. Now this alone would do it. In fact, these are the three conditions on the way in. So those are the conditions. Your name is not in the to list. It has the specific message in the words in the message header, and again, it's for your specific account. So your screen should look just like this one. Now we're going to press next. And what are we going to do when an inbound email matches that configuration? We're going to move it to a specified folder. So we're going to check that. And which specified folder? Well, of course, it is the sent mailbox. We want that inbox, that copy that came to ourselves. We want to move it to the sent mail just as though we had sent it directly from Outlook. Hey, just for fun, and it's really just for fun, you could choose to go ahead and play a sound. Now, this is me getting carried away a little bit. I do this because it gives me a little audible confirmation of sorts. So I'm just going to pick a sound to play. Might pick, yeah, that's as good. Any sound at all that you have on your computer. If you don't know what the sounds are, you don't know where to find them, don't worry about it. This is really just an optional thing. It'll make a sound when it executes this rule. So that's it. It's nothing more fancy than that. When we press next, so here's the rule as it goes now. Again, I'm not in the to. It's for this account. It has that word in the message header on this computer. Then go ahead and play a sound and move it to the sent folder. Now, are there exceptions? Are there times when you wouldn't want this rule to apply? And the answer is no, there really aren't any. But maybe in your case there could be, but I doubt it. So we're going to leave this blank. And we're going to press next. And we're going to give the rule a name. We're going to call it BrokerBinder outbound email automation, or any other rule that you like. And we're going to turn the rule on, okay? You could, if you like, check this box. It'll just run it once at the beginning, but we're not going to do that right now. And we're going to press finish, and these rules will now apply going forward. Okay, so we're going to apply. Very important you click apply there too, and now press OK. And now this rule is in place. Fantastic. So if we go this arrow to go back, and now you'll see that we have this email in for Linda Lalonde. And watch this now as we right mouse click on this particular email and apply this rule. If we go ahead and send and receive in the first place just to clean it up, that's a good thing. But now, why didn't this get moved right now? Well, the answer is this email was already here. It didn't just arrive, and so the rule wasn't applied. That's why it's still there, and anything that's in your inbox already won't get moved. So don't be shocked if an older email doesn't go away. Now, if we, just for fun, if we'd like to apply this rule that we just wrote to this email, we could go and go back to the rules, click here, and click on the email rule that we've got, and run it. And when we run that rule, checkbox here on the inbox, run it now, it will make like that rule had that email had just come in, so that when we go back to our inbox, that email isn't here anymore. Look at that, it's gone. Where did it go? Well, it went to our sent email box, just as it should. In other words, we mimicked an inbound email. But that's just cleaning up, as it were, old messages that were already in our box. Let's go and create now another brand new file, a brand new email. And we're going to do it again for Linda's file. So let's pretend that Linda is going to be an approval on a purchase, and we happen to know that she's employed, maybe even, let's say, in the government, whatever. We're going to go ahead and add a condition set. And what do you know, in BrokerBinder, we set up this condition set for an approval for a purchase for a person who's employed at a regular, job with a T4 and everything else. So there's the list of documents that you've decided that you want to have. If you're not sure about how condition sets work, go listen to that video. But now I've added that list of documents to this particular file. And the next thing I'm going to want to do is actually send it to Linda. You'll notice here that when these files, condition documents are added to the file the first time, they're red. They're red to remind you that you have to send Linda a copy of the email so that she knows what to do with it. So now we're going to send the request. This is just another email that's going out. It could have, everything we're about to do now could apply in an invitation or an email you send to a lender or any other email you send from BrokerBinder. We're going to pick any old template. I'm going to choose a French one this time, but it could have been anything else. I'm going to choose a word, and again, I'm going to make it bold and orange just for fun, but whatever, you can change it in any way you want. You notice that the list of documents in here is present. That's great. Off it goes. And that copy to self, importantly, is checked. It's automatically checked. You don't want to uncheck it. You want to leave it right where it is. I'm going to go ahead and press OK. Now, Linda will have received the email. That's what you get up here, notification sent. And it went to the email address that she's got here. Great. And now if you go back to your Outlook, you'll notice that in your inbox, it isn't here. And when we do our send receive, it's going to go through its thing. And when it does, we're going to notice that that email requesting documents is now in your sent mail, as though you sent it directly from Outlook in the first place And so when you get audited or somebody, you just want to find something, you know it's right in your sent mail, like right along with all your other email, including that orange little comment there. So that's how you apply rules in Outlook. If you're going to do the same thing in Thunderbird or Gmail or other programs, it's really going to be just about the same thing. And those items that you're going to be looking for are the same things that we talked about before. So to restate them, you're going to, this is a drawing program of sorts that I've got here. You're going to make sure that you're looking at the right account. You're going to make sure that it came from that address, and it has this word in the header. That turns out to be one of the most important things. And then importantly, you're going to send it to the sent folder. Of course, the sound playing is just optional. It's for fun. So that's what you're going to be doing in whatever email program you have to use. I hope you found this instructive and useful. And if you have any questions, give us a call. Have a great week.